today we're talking about social media marketing. Now, I think being on social media is probably pretty important for most practices. Do you need to be some kind of influencer in the online space? No, absolutely not. We have found that social media has done some great things for our practice over the last couple of years, but for the practices where they enjoy social media is fun for them. I wanted to talk about some of the ways just to use it to full advantage, give you just some ideas for things that you can do. Just so you guys know, for us, and if you ever want to look us up for inspiration, please feel free. Impact Orthodontics in Calgary, Alberta. We've grown quite a bit on social media in the last little while. We've gone from, just having a couple hundred followers to almost 35,000. I think we're at like 35,000 on TikTok and almost 20,000 on Instagram. And this is just by us showing up as ourselves, having a lot of fun, and educating our audience. Our practice is all about education and is all about having fun, making every experience as enjoyable as possible. And we've just taken that and chucked it online to see if people like it. And fortunately, they do. So if you're looking for some inspiration, check us out on TikTok or Instagram. That's where most of our stuff goes. We do have a YouTube channel, so some of our longer videos are there, but TikTok and Insta is where we are most of the time. So when I talk to people about social media, they often ask me, how do we come up with ideas? How do we organize this content? Who does it for us? How does all this happen? It's all been internal for us. We have always managed our social media within the practice. I was doing it all on my own for a while, and then Dina, my partner, started doing some of it. And then we now have some team members within the practice who do most of it. They do the posting, they do a lot of the planning, and then once a month, at our team meeting, Dina and I spend about 2 hours on every team meeting day filming all the content for the next month. Because videos now are all pretty much under a minute long, that's really easy for us to do. As long as they're all planned out ahead of time, then we can just do batch filming. We just film all of the ones we need for the month, and then they're up and at them. So it takes us as the doctors, about 2 hours each month to do all of the content for the whole month, which we've now finally got it down to that. It's fantastic. And I'm happy to do that until the cows come home, especially if it's bringing patients into us, and it is. So the first thing that I would suggest you do if you really want to up your social media game, or even if you're just trying to get into social media now, is create some type of social media content calendar for yourself, because you want to have everything's with systems and processes makes it easier. Not everybody loves systems and processes, but oh my gosh, they work. If you have a calendar set up, if you have, you need consistency over time to do well on social media. So you can't just be like, yeah, we're going to do social media, and then for 2 weeks do awesome, and then don't do anything for 3 weeks, and then for a week, you can't. It has to be consistent, which means you have to plan or set yourself up for success. So as an example, if you're going to sit down and do a social media calendar, you want to think about what your goals are. What do you want to use social media for? Is it to educate people? Is it to entertain people? Is it to promote your services? Is it a mix of all of those things? And there's no right or wrong answer here, but you should identify what your goal is. So what exactly are you trying to achieve? Identify that. Then choose your platform, right? Where is your ideal patient most active? This is really important, because if you're trying to appeal to a certain group, you actually just want to show up where they are. For us, TikTok, Instagram, and then that includes Facebook, because everything that goes on Instagram goes on Facebook, have been our top locations. And I would say we do TikTok because we think it's fun. But I could probably, if I dug into the stats, I would guess that Instagram and Facebook probably actually bring us more patients, potentially. So figure out which platforms you want to use. If you really love video, then maybe TikTok is a good place to be. If you really just want to do image posts, carousel posts, you just want factual information up, then, Facebook and Instagram are a great place to be. Then you want to plan your content. So I think of it like content buckets or content pillars. Think about all the types of content you might want to post. So one bucket might be educational content. One bucket might be patient testimonials, maybe behind the scenes, maybe promotional offers or procedures that you do. You could break it up into different pockets or buckets or pillars, whatever you want to call it, and figure out what those are going to be, because this just then acts as your guide for when you're going to plan out. And then you use a calendar and schedule it all out, right? What are your posts for the week or month going to look like? If you ask, I've spent time with so many of the gurus. If you ask about posting, how often you should post, it's totally up to you. If you really, really, really want to grow your social channels, you have to be posting every day, every single day. And I know that sounds like a lot. We post just once a day on the channels that we're on. So posts go up 30 days of a 30-day month. I know people who post 2 or 3 times a day, which I think is insane, but they love it. And I know people that post 3 times a week or twice a week. I would say if you could, like, I think it has to be at least 3 times a week if you want to get any traction. Of course, the quality of material you're putting out is way more important than the quantity. So if you can't put quality out, then reduce the quantity. So if you're like, you know what, I can only do 2 really good posts a week, fine. That is better than 5 really crappy posts. So don't do that. Another thing that you really should leverage for social media, because it's gotten so good over the last little bit, is to use AI, something like ChatGPT, to help you create your content and or come up with a plethora of ideas. I like it so much because it will actually help me to brainstorm and then also to organize. So ChatGPT can help you with everything from like generating the ideas all the way to the actual building of the content calendar. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to attach to the comment in this video a link to a document that I've created that shows you the ChatGPT prompts that you can use. It's just a great place to start. And then you can copy and paste those, modify them for your practice, and pump them into ChatGPT. It is flippin' amazing. I use it all the time. It saves me so many hours. And now that I don't do all the planning, I've taught my team how to use these tools. And so they use ChatGPT all the time to help them come up with what types of posts, the caption writing for the posts, what type of images they should be looking for, like all of that stuff. So what you do is you simply go to ChatGPT and decide where you want to start. If you really want ChatGPT to come up with ideas, you could give ChatGPT a little bit of information about your practice and say, can you generate some ideas for me? And then ChatGPT will pump stuff out. And you might get something back that says, okay, on Monday, you're going to do a post about the importance of flossing with tips and a fun fact. On Tuesday, you're going to do a patient testimonial with a before and after photo. On Wednesday, you're going to do a behind the scenes video of the team setting up for the day. On Thursday, you're going to do a myth busting post about common dental misconceptions. On Friday, you're going to do a promotional offer for free teeth whitening. On Saturday, you're going to do a fun TikTok dance with the team. On Sunday, it'll be a Q&A session where you answer common dental questions, just as an example. So, and ChatGPT will either throw these ideas at you or will like theme out days for you, or you can ask it to. So it's fun to have ChatGPT help you build a template that you can then use from that point forward. Some people really like to do things where like Mondays are always educational content. Tuesdays are always testimonials. Wednesdays are behind the scenes. Thursdays are myth busting or FAQs. Friday is offers. Saturday is fun, interactive, goofy, whatever. And Sunday is Q&A or something like that. So you can break out the days of the week and make it always the same. Like we used to do a motivational Monday. So Monday was always just a really fun quote. I did a what you want to know Wednesday for a long time, which was just like kind of fun facts or information about orthodontics, since I'm an orthodontist. So there, you can break things up that way if you want. Otherwise, you don't have to by any means, but if that makes it easier for you to plan your content, you can do that. And so you want to plan out, do you want to have like weekly themes? Do you want to do something special on certain holidays? Or do you have something, a special promotion or an event coming up that you really want to talk about for a week? You can tell ChatGPT all of these things, and then it will make the content around there. If you really want to think of sort of your buckets, like best buckets and ones that we have found do the best, educational content is one. And I would say I love educational content because it's easy for me to make. Do people like educational content? Yes, but only if they can relate it to themselves. And because we're mostly doing video that's super short, then we do a lot these days of educational content around like answering very specific questions. So if someone says to us something like, can you fix an overbite with Invisalign? Then in our little video, we say we can, and I consider that educational. So we sometimes give like tips and tricks, like what do you do if you drop your Invisalign aligners on the floor? Like what's the best way to clean them? How do I keep them clean? What happens if a wire breaks? We can do, like sometimes we'll do how-tos, how to brush your teeth with braces. But remember, they're going to be like snippets, like little tiny pieces. So you have to keep it like fun and engaging and short, because most people don't want to watch big, long, boring videos about educational stuff. They just don't have the attention span for it. People love patient testimonials. right? If you can show happy people who've seen you, that is like your best selling feature. Behind the scenes is fun. Don't do too much of this. People do care about you, but they care about themselves more. So showing, showing off the people that you work with, maybe highlighting when they have an anniversary at the practice or a birthday, or you guys doing something fun together, like things like that are always fun to post. If you do a lot of offers at your practice, so let's say you do whitening deals or certain discounts or you bundle certain services, or if you have a membership program or any of those things, then talking about like specifically something you offer, like kind of going direct for the sale, totally do that once a week. There's nothing wrong with that. They usually say you should have 5 to 6 posts that aren't selling for every 1 post that's selling. So once a week, sell. Talk about something that you have to offer. And then it's always fun to do things that are interactive, things like polls or Q&As, or even like a contest. For a long time, when we were first building up our audiences, we would run contests to get more followers and eyeballs on our posts. So we would have a contest with a prize, like maybe we were giving away a pair of AirPods or something. And so we were asking people to like tag their friends or share with a certain number of people or whatever that was. And that helped us a lot at the beginning to get a little bit of traction. So we had enough people in our audience that we'd get people actually seeing the things we were putting up. And then of course you can just do fun stuff. It's probably our favorite stuff. So Dina and I well, I'm a little crazy and she knows how to dance. I don't. And so we do a lot of fun videos where we do little dance ones, and we try to make them educational too. Usually the text on the screen is super educational. So we do some goofball things. We do some like ones where we're lip syncing or acting or doing a little dance, or telling a joke or something like that. And those ones are just really fun. And it really helps patients to see who we are as people. When they're in the practice, they're going to get that kind of stuff. I'm always being kind of goofy, so it's nice to be able to show that on video. And if you're not goofy, you don't have to be goofy to have a good social media channel. But if you are goofy or you really like to entertain, you'll be killing it on social media. So, but think about all of those things. The last thing I guess to think about with social media is, so you need to come up with what you're going to do, and you need to plan it so that you can be efficient in your filming or creation of it. Using AI is going to make all of that faster, but you also need to be able to engage with people. So you need at least a team member or two, if it's not just going to be you, that engages with your followers. So if people are following you, commenting on your videos, liking things, you need to make sure that there's someone who can respond quickly, that can like and comment on people's posts, that can answer questions or at least ask you what the answer is to the question, and that can be doing things like running contests and giveaways and managing those things, so that you're getting the most that you can out of them. The social channels that do the best are always the ones where people feel like they're getting to know you by being a part of your social media, which means that if they reach out or if they ask a question, there's someone actually like replying, responding, like being in on it. So you have to really kind of be in it. What I would recommend is this: if you're doing social media and it's killing it for you, you didn't need to watch this video. If you're doing social media and you know you could be doing better, then I would try to find some inspiration. The one thing we did when we decided we really wanted to step up our game was we started looking for and following other dental and medical type social channels that had stuff that we thought was engaging and fun, that had a really good following. So we started watching what they were doing to get some ideas, to be like, okay, what seems to be working? They have this reel with this many views, or they have this TikTok video with 2 million views. Like, what is it that they're doing, and can we copy that in some way? I always say the fastest way to success is to find someone who is already successful in the thing you want to be successful at, and then model them. Don't copy them. Model them, see what they're doing, see what's working for them, and figure out how you can do something similar, because success for someone else means you can have that same success. Nobody's fancy, special, or unicorny. Like, I promise, I always say there's no magic bullet, there's no magic wand, there's no special sauce. Everybody can have everything if they want it. And it's about where you decide to put your focus. So if you really think social media is a place that you want to do more, maybe market more direct to the public, engage with your current patients, your local community, whatever more, then find someone who inspires you, who you like what they're doing, who's being super successful, and really just try to do what they're doing. It's a great place to start. And don't be afraid to leverage AI to help you. Like I said, I'm going to attach to this a Google document that you guys can keep and copy and do whatever you want with, but will help you to put some prompts into ChatGPT to get you ideas, help you brainstorm, help you create content, help you create content calendars, like whatever it is you want. And the thing I love about ChatGPT is it doesn't always give me something that's perfect, but it always gets my creative juices going so that I can then modify it to make it work for me. It saves so much time. So take my word on it. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.